Hello, Neil. Hello, Jose, and hello, Karla. How are you guys?
Doing great. He's a little jet lagged because he just landed back yesterday
Yeah.
night from San Francisco.
All
But always
that's,
ready.
That's good. That's good. So I have a question before I start the questions, the run-up questions. So,
Sure.
did you receive the images from Meetup? This is the first question I should ask you.
I did. I
All
did
right.
receive the images from Metef. They were amazing.
All
and
right.
we shared them on our.
We shared,
Karla-
but I don't think you shared all of it with me.
No, I only
Because-
shared the ones in which I look good.
Yeah. This
I mean-
is
Were you dressed in a suit? So this
Yeah,
is
exactly.
this is the ones I remember.
I'm not gonna share the ones in which I'm showing my double chin and stuff, looking down because
He's
he
like
clicked a
cropping
lot.
only himself and sending them like you.
Maybe he did the edits on his face. Run
Yeah,
these.
just
Yeah.
his face.
Yeah.
Post this.
You should have shared with me because I
Yeah.
usually, make something with the pictures before I.
Well,
shared them.
the thing is
Yeah.
that what I would like, what happened that event. So basically, all of the participants was like, oh, they're coming to me. Is like, oh, can you share the picture? Can you share the picture? I was like,
That's why I took the picture with you.
Yeah,
Just become friends and hey, share the pictures.
so I was like, you know what? I'll take WhatsApp. I'm sending people. So I'll take it by the phone. I'm not taking anything by camera. So what I did is that. The community Jamil Saudi, they told me share with us all the images.
Uh-huh.
I shared it with them.
But you still have them?
No, to be honest, I shared with them the hard drive. They didn't
No,
return.
I
They
thought that
didn't-
we could have
they-
all of them now. Oh,
No,
my
no,
goodness.
so
Okay,
they didn't
Neil,
return it back.
You're the
so
only
I
one
was-
who have them.
Yeah.
I have it.
And crop
Okay.
the pictures and send to us.
Yeah, and with the magic filter.
Yeah.
So basically, let me just do a quick run up and
Sure.
quick introduction. So I met Neil and Jose when I was doing the coverage for CJ for MIT. So MIT
Pan
was-
Arab startup competition.
startup competition, which is now called Startups. Start Smart.
Start smart.
so this is so basically they were participant in the social entrepreneurship
Track. Yeah.
track. So they
That's
were
correct.
they were running up as part of Key to Enable.
Yes.
Sorry, just the names and stuff like that. I'm bad at it. So
It's completely understandable.
so I will leave this floor to you. So maybe you introduce to the audience what's Key to Enable. So can you just give us like a quick
quick introduction.
Have
introduction.
to add something because he was covering all of that in MIT and we won the competition.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah, so I forgot about that. You won the
How
competition.
can you forget? That's the
The best
I
pictures
was-
that you took there, it was because of that.
Oh my god!
We
I
won it.
forgot.
Yeah, we
I'm
won
sorry.
the social
Yeah.
entrepreneurship track.
But to be honest, just because I saw you guys in the workshop and I saw you on the I recall I didn't see you on the cultural tour that was in
No, that was Jose. He loves that. He loves
yeah,
to
so-
go
Yeah.
on
So I
cultural.
He
remember I-
pretended that he was ill and I went there.
yeah. So I
that's it.
remember
He
one of
danced with the Saudi kid. With
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah. I
with
remember.
the
I have the
staff.
picture.
Yeah.
I
You
still
have that one you sent me.
Yeah, I still have the picture.
That one he
and
said.
I remember there was like they went to the night in the desert and it was super
Exactly.
cold. I was like,
Super
you know
cold.
what? I need to leave. I need to
Yeah.
leave. I need to leave. Let me.
Because you were in t-shirts like this. I remember.
No, I was in a jacket. I was in a jacket and I was still feeling cold.
Wow.
It was super cold. It was like below zero.
Wow.
It was in the
That
desert
was-
and it was in the mountain. and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah. Yeah.
But they have some good, delicious food there.
The thing is that he went,
I
he
love-
climbed the mountain, so that's why it was
Ah,
below
you-
zero.
you
Because
did
I stayed
hiking,
there with the
bro.
people. But
He was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there.
He
He
went
was there
there
in the
to-
plain region where they have horses and camels. He was staying
but
there.
but also the Pan Arab they covered it. So basically this was how the plan was. So the Pan Arab team goes with horses, and I was with the hiking. So they covered that, and I covered
You
that.
covered
so
that.
so I when the day ends, I covered both. Like I was between both, but I was in one place, so I wasn't hiking.
well, what matters is you didn't catch a cold and you came back in one piece. So
No, actually, I took a 2 Panadol. So I was like, no sick, no nothing. I need to
Yeah.
cover this event. I can't afford to be one man down in that event. So I had to cover it. So yeah, can you just before I interrupt you guys.
So I'll take this.
Please.
I'll just Then you guys introduce yourselves. So we are Key to Enable. We are a Brazilian assistive edtech startup. When I say assistive edtech, a lot of people might not understand what is assistive edtech. So an assistive device is a device that helps a person or assists a person who might not have the physical capabilities owing to disabilities, etc. Any such effect. They might not be able to operate technology. So an assistive device, not only technology, even to move around, to do their daily functions, any device that assists them in doing that is an assistive device. What is edtech? Is educational technology, technology that helps or enables education. We are a hybrid. We made devices that are primarily assistive in nature while promoting learning and communication. So we got conceptualized in Brazil by His Highness José Rubinger and three other co-founders. One of them is his brother, and two other engineers from Brazil. And then I kind of met him in Dubai when he won the GITEX, and I was working with one of the top VCs that time in UAE, in Dubai, and my CEO was the one who was handing him over the check. And so my name is Neil. I'm sorry, just backtracking a little bit. My name is Neil, and I'm full name Indranil Chatterjee. I'm ethnically from India. Had some education in the States. Been in Dubai, UAE for the past 5 years. So anyway, going back to GITEX, I saw him taking the check from my CEO. I saw this guy with a big smile and a weird looking device in his hand. I didn't understand nothing about assistive technology or educational technology. I'm a finance professional, But then cutscene 1 year later, I meet him in one of the leading accelerator of the region, which is Hub 71 in Abu Dhabi. I met him there. I was there for a mentoring session or of some sorts. And I met him there and I said, hey, you won GITEX? Yes, I won GITEX. And then he's like, but I never understood what you did or why you won it. What's your device? He said, give me 5 minutes and I'll explain it to you. And it's been still, those 5 minutes are still going on. Since then, I'm here, and I'm the only how do you say this, C-level who's not an initial co-founder, and I'm lucky to be part of such an opportunity, because it's not only, we'll obviously talk and delve into the business aspect, which primarily what I drive into, but I saw an opportunity, and that's where I jumped in, and he welcomed me with open arms. And so I had strategies for Key to Enable, explore newer markets, take this innovation and technology, showcase it to the rest of the parts of the world, different continents. Just came back from China, had an amazing reception, right? So so that's me, and that's Jose, that's Karla. Yes, please go ahead.
I forgot to say that he offered me food. It was a beautiful one, but he didn't say that it was super spicy. And I really do not like spicy food.
I'm from India.
But I loved him because
he loved me, and he's so nice that he kept eating and crying at the same time. And he turned, physically, he turned red. I saw a person become red like a tomato, and he started crying. And I'm like, bro,
why you were crying?
It's a little spicy. He's like, it's a little spicy, no? And I was like, bro, it's a lot. Leave it, let it be, So sorry, please go ahead.
So my name is José Rubinger. Of course, people call me here Josie, and it doesn't matter. At least they know that I'm here. I'm from Brazil. It's the first time that I live abroad, and I'm super happy by doing this. And of course, with the chance to show what we have been doing in Key to Enable. And as Neil said, when I won GITEX, I was there alone. because there was nobody with me from Kitchenable, because I started this like the international part alone, because the co-founders are there in Brazil.
Yeah.
So since then, of course, we wanted to hire people. We wanted to continue Kitchenable, the same thing that we had there in Brazil. And very soon people wanted to join. And I'm very lucky that Karla and you are here with me. And of course, we have other people, but this was the beginning of Kitchenable.
Starting point of people coming in, pivotal. So he came to UAE, and I think in 7 months we met again, right? And since then, so from the 7th month that he's been in UAE, since then I have been with him as in my capacity. And I think about 20 days later, it's Karla. So tell your. She didn't know. By the way, I'm so sorry. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it.
So I'm Karla, but everybody calls me Kiki. You can call me Kiki. I'll reply faster to that. But so actually, my first contact with Jose and Kitchenable was many years ago.
Yeah.
I was very young. I didn't know anything about business, entrepreneurship, anything like that. And he went to do a meeting with my sister. And I was working with music festivals, nothing to do with this. And I joined the meeting with her because I was at her place. And then he brought our device, which was like one of the first versions of it. And I remember I didn't understand anything. While he was speaking, I was searching on Google. What is B2B? I was super young. I didn't know, but I got interested in the device. I pretended I understood everything, but I got interested in the social cause of it, of course.
But before, you were hugging some trees outside.
Yeah, I was more hippie. Like I didn't.
Hippie, hipster, tree hugger.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
her.
So then I graduated in social communication. So I did filmmaking, podcast. And I worked in Nickelodeon, MTV. So I was in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And then he said, like, I have this opportunity here in Abu Dhabi. I didn't believe it because it was too good to be true.
Yeah.
He said, I'll give you an apartment for you to live by yourself. I'll give you the salary. But come, let's test. I came here.
Yeah.
I tested with him.
And she was like, okay, yes, I still remember her face in the in this Zoom meeting, because how someone is just inviting me to live in the UAE.
Yeah, and it's first time me living abroad also.
Yeah, that's it.
And then we started like with social media in the beginning, but then it developed to way more things. Like I do a lot of pitches with them, presentations. I help them in whatever they need. Trainings of teachers and. Yeah, traveling is always with me.
I think this is the most beautiful part of us, the ethos of our company. So giving you a little of why I am still here and hopefully I'm gonna be around is because I think the most important thing in life is enjoying the work that you do every day.
Yeah, exactly.
You might not be, because a lot of people say, I see a lot of inspirational speakers and motivational speakers. They come and say, do what you love to do and you'll be the best at it. Okay. I love to make clay pots. Can I earn money and get rich with clay pots? Not really. So But if you do practice, then you can. No, I'm saying there will be always certain things which can be commercialized and has a certain potential commercial or financial opportunity. And another thing might be something I'm passionate about, but it has no commercial opportunity. In that case, you will not be rich doing what you love to do. But what's important is, because it's not really relevant in today's life. In today's life, what is relevant is, are you happy doing your job? Are you happy doing what you do on a day-to-day or regular basis? If you're happy, you have 100% passion. You have 100%. Your heart is at peace, man. Like you're motivated to wake up the next day and do things for what you're doing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the ethos of Kitchenable is the way you see us having these conversations, this is exactly how it is at work.
Yeah.
That's the best part. We get to travel together almost like a family. I mean, we are like a family. It's been, we have our characters. Like, I don't know if you've seen The Office. The Office, the series, the American one with
The Office. I thought your office. I was like,
not our office. Our office is just like another The Office. You know, sometimes me and Karla, because she has the filmmaking, aspect to her, she's like, dude, we can completely make a series on Key to Enable Life.
This is
Key to Enable.
So many things
Like,
happening and happened.
You won't believe it is amazing because so many awkward moments because of cultural differences. You know, like Jose comes from Brazil. He doesn't know a lot about Arab culture, and he ends up saying certain things, and people are like, okay, all right, those moments. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I think that's primarily when he said traveling. We have traveled. Me and Jose, we were there in China. Before that, we were there in where were we together? Saudi Arabia.
Saudi, yes.
I think lately you went to San Francisco, guys.
That's him.
No, that's Jose.
Yeah, I didn't want them there. No.
We were required in UAE. So our presence was required in UAE, and we were doing other things in UAE. In a startup, I think, because when she was saying that, it started off with social media, and then I started doing this pitching, and then he said traveling. I think Jose, because I see him doing this, I see her doing this, I do this, is in a startup, there is, though I'm chief strategy officer and I'm looking at the commercial aspect of things, but hey, I pitch. I help writing scripts. I help writing, social media posts when she wants my advice, So I think we have to, I do trainings. So there are times that we have to juggle a lot of responsibilities, wearing different hats at different times. Exactly. That's a part of.
Sometimes like I have to do some of the stuff I don't know about, but I have to do it because I need to learn. I need to learn. Like I don't want to basically I know much about social media, but I want to learn about something related to the printing, to the marketing, to the billboard and stuff like that, and the creative process, and how to finalize lots of web development and stuff like that. But I need to learn. Like, I don't want to stay, in a dome,
cocooned in a
dome, in a dome and stuff like that, and not to learn anything else. But this is something I just realized, that today's generation, they want to be focused on one thing. They don't want to learn other things as well. To be honest, I never done podcasting. This is my second episode.
Awesome.
It's working out.
So it's working out for me, but I'm trying to learn. Like the first episode I did with Vic, basically I have prepared around how many questions? Around 15 questions.
And then suddenly you don't even ask those questions.
Because the conversation itself, it takes this flow. It's like a river. So
I'm pretty sure that you had ideas of asking us questions as well, but it's all taking its own course.
It will take place. Don't worry.
They will be answered.
That's the best of podcasts. It's you have to let it flow. There is a meme that is me when I'm listening to podcasts. It's like a person just seeing the picture and they're engaging together. It's that's how the people that they watch and they hear, they feel they are here, seated here with us.
Yeah, exactly. So and even with filming, I would ask the two person who's in front of me, talk on anything, interact, so I can take the picture spontaneous.
That's exactly.
That's how I feel. This is the perfect picture for me. I don't want to pose and stuff like that. Don't pose.
Yeah, because it doesn't look natural. It looks orchestrated.
Exactly.
I think this is more natural.
For it to not look natural, can someone take a picture of us here from?
No. Maybe later. So once we're done. So this is a bit better. We spoke about Key to Enable, and thank you so much for the quick introduction.
Wasn't that quick, but okay.
I know. I was gonna say it took 10 minutes.
Let AI edit this.
Well, we'll see with the AI. So
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't be frustrated of me and shut the whole computer down. And tell me to find another thing to do. So I was just for Neil and Jose, because you said, guys, you went to GITEX, you went to China for events, and you went also to San Francisco. How is it the experience there when you go to events now? Because you went to events like startup competition that happened in Saudi, which I was also part of it. Mm-hmm. But you were there as participants. Now you are part of being as a brand startup. You're taking the flow of being like introduced as a startup, as not as like a, like a tiny fish in a big sea. Now you're basically the big, not I wouldn't say like you're a big fish.
Hopefully gonna be a big fish.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we're a fish of medium size for now.
So it's okay.
Yeah,
it grows.
It grows. It will grow for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you feel from this, going from participants to being panelists, startup, and entrepreneur as well?
Yeah, you went to GITEX, so I think you have a good story there.
I think so. I was invited recently by Apex Brazil, which is the internationalization agency of the federal government of Brazil, to come and speak on the entrepreneurial ecosystem, which is there in Brazil. Limited about that, but more about internationalization of startups and how important it is to internationalize. And about our journey. So I shared about the journey and I shared about internationalization. I think my experience at GITEX, because they invited all the different actors of an entrepreneurial ecosystem. Yeah. So there were academia from University of São Paulo, the city from where Karla hails. There was a person from representing a VC, major venture capital firm in Brazil. There was a person from one of the unicorns, Brazilian unicorns, which means their valuation exceeds of $1 billion. So how they became a unicorn, she was there to share that. And then there was me, the humble me. And then there was somebody from Apex Brazil, Tatiana. Actually, there was Tatiana from Brazil, who's Apex Brazil, who's the COO of Apex. And what I understood is people in the audience were not just Brazilians, because we were on the spotlight stage at Expand North Star, like North Star. And the people who were walking by were all, if you're at North Star or GITEX, which is the largest tech startup event in the world, right? Yeah. You are one of those five. So either you're a professor, or you're a scientist, or you're an investor, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, or a student of entrepreneurship, right? Yeah. So people, and diversity is the best thing about UAE, right? People from more than 120 countries in one place. They're passing by, but they stop. They stop to listen. And they're not just Brazilian. And it's written spotlight on Brazil, because we were at the spotlight stage. But people who were there were Brazilians, different GCC countries, Indians, Pakistanis, people from the West, Americans, everybody. Because I always say that entrepreneurship is a journey which is very personal.
Exactly.
Which is very personal. And I think he would agree, right? Mm-hmm. Because the way, and even Karla, because when we started out, as you said, how do you feel, being here as a panelist from starting out as one of the participants in more than 2,000, because in METEF, I think more than 2,000, 1,500 startups.
I think it was 1,500.
500 startups had applied, and we were one of those startups, right? And now we are invited as Key to Enable. I was invited because I'm the CSO of Key to Enable, not because I'm Neil, right? Yeah. So it feels good. It feels amazing.
And as you said, the diversity, for example, they maybe they were expecting another Brazilian, because this was a Brazilian panel.
Yes.
But he mastered it. because he already knows what is happening there in Brazil. So the beauty of this is that you are not here, as you said, in a dome. So Neil tries to understand everything that is happening, not only here, but also there in Brazil, because he's inside a Brazilian startup.
Exactly. So it's I think it's amazing to see that how people are understanding the different aspects of entrepreneurship, but then they go on their own journey. They keep that as a set standard, but then they know what to practice, what to imply, what to, like do on ground when they're actually doing it. But they keep those as standards. So they know, okay, I need to cut my costs. I need to keep a lower customer acquisition costs. I need to, calculate my burn rate, have it ready when I'm meeting a VC. They know all these things, but they do it their own way.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's personal. Right. Yeah. So I see that happening, and it really fills me with joy. Also because working with Brazilians for the past, and me as a non-Brazilian, working with Brazilians for the past 3 years and being in events, more than 5 events, with being the only non-Brazilian, and they all speak in English because of me. Everybody speaks Portuguese. I'm the only person who does not speak Portuguese, but they stop everything. They changed the medium of the language of the whole cohort just so that I could understand. This shows me why there is so much diversity in Brazil.
Yeah.
And this shows me why they're so welcoming of diversity, because there is so much diversity in Brazil.
Yeah.
And that's how one of the things that we enable is inclusivity, which I think is a major part of being diverse. You cannot be diverse unless you're inclusive. You have to be inclusive first in order to have diverse people in the same place. Brazil has taught me a lot about how you can have people who look Japanese but speak Portuguese and identify as Brazilian. They showed me it's so different, Ragid. It amazes me because I grew up for a long time in the US, right?
Yeah.
You have these pockets of places where there's the Arab community. There's Karla actually pointed this out, and I thought about it and I said, hey, it's true. Because what she said is, Neil, in Brazil, when you meet somebody who has a Lebanese name, but he speaks Portuguese. He looks Lebanese, but he's Brazilian.
Yeah.
There is no little Lebanon.
Yeah. There's no like little Italy, as we see, like New York, big cities.
Yeah. Right?
Everybody's integrated.
Integrated, bro.
Yeah,
like completely.
Yeah, they're all Brazilians.
They're all Brazilians. I mean, look, think about this. They both come from the same country.
Yeah.
He's Snow White. Him and her. She's completely Latina.
Okay.
Yeah. From her.
But that's why we chose him. He's super Latino.
As you can see here. Latino, right?
But he likes spicy food, though.
Yeah, I like spicy
That's
food.
the Indian part.
Mexico.
That's the Mexican,
Come on. From an Indian perspective, when Mexicans, because in the States, I came across a lot of Mexicans, and they're like, we eat a lot of spicy food. I'm like, please, come on, dude. That's not spicy.
That's not spicy at all.
They say an jalapeno is spicy. I could eat that for breakfast. Like the Indian, Pakistani spice is like a different level of spice. And I'm surprised at how people handle it these days. And anyway, but coming back to the original conversation of inclusivity and diversity, it's because of the country that the startup has come from.
Yeah.
Firstly, the idea came to him because he's Brazilian.
Yeah.
Because he's seen as, when I was growing up, brother, I didn't see children of determination in my class. I didn't see them. And I'm not shy to say, when I was 13, I had an interaction with a kid of my age, but he was born with cerebral palsy. And I got scared.
Yeah.
Because I never saw a person like that. And I got scared. Human beings are scared of things that they do not understand.
Exactly.
if I knew his condition, if I had some children like that in my class, maybe I would be friends with them. Maybe I would help push his wheelchair. Maybe I would try and understand what he's trying to say and help translate for him, what he means, But that didn't happen. When I grew up from being a teenager to an adult, I understood that, hey, this is just unfair.
Exactly.
Because it's still in many parts of the world a taboo. Still people feel that, hey, if he can't speak, maybe, he can't even speak. What can he do? Hey, do you know what's inside his brain? You don't.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What he can do, give him a tool for him to tell you what he knows. You'll be astonished to what they know. So when he told me the whole concept and I understood the whole concept and I understood the whole how he ended up making it, I felt the whole process was only possible because he's from Brazil. You understand? Because the country itself is so inclusive. And it's not a developed country. It's a developing country.
Yeah.
Though the largest economy in Latin America. They are the largest economy in Latin America, but still developing, just like India.
Yeah.
Developing, one of the second largest economy in Asia. Yeah. But still developing, right? So resources are less.
Yeah.
But there is something which I always say is in Brazil, they call it jeitinho brasileiro. Jeitinho brasileiro.
Explain it.
Which
English,
is,
please.
Yeah. Jeitinho brasileiro is a Brazilian Portuguese way of saying that
we have to accommodate it.
Yeah,
you
have accommodate
to make it work.
You have to make it.
Like
in Hindi, in India, we have a term similar. It's called jugaad. Jugaad is in Hindi.
Yeah.
We have the same thing in India. It's when something doesn't work on its own or you don't have the resources to make something.
Yeah.
If the passion is enough and the need is enough, you just makeshift things. Yeah, you find a way of making it with whatever you have. So if you want a shower, you don't have one, you fill a big bag of plastic with water, you make some holes, stick it on top, and take a shower.
Yeah,
so that's
100%
jeitinho brasileiro.
And
right?
in Brazil, we have to do that because like in 2016, 2017, for example, we didn't have these VCs having money to build something just with the PowerPoint or with an idea. We really didn't have that. So we learned our mindset is you have to build something and you have to sell it like immediately.
Yeah.
The way that you are going to do to build it, I don't know, maybe you have to sell, your mother, your grandmother, your parts, the things that you cannot sell right now, but then you have it back. But the thing is, you really need to do something because your partner are the banks.
Yeah.
They charge a lot. Of course, now things are changing mainly after COVID. You see a lot of things happening in Brazil, but it was like really like this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But when we started, it was not like that. So we had to build the technology to make it work. And actually who came up with the idea was someone who was born with cerebral palsy and he cannot speak, but he's our friend. And then
it's crazy.
We understood how he wanted.
With the idea. When he was young, his mother, God bless the woman, she didn't stop believing in her son. Though, as in, they say that mothers, they understand what their children are feeling or what they want to say, even if they don't speak.
Yeah.
She demonstrated that power because she knew that my son has it in him. I'm going to, even if he doesn't speak, even if he can't write because his hands do not have fine motor coordination. Yeah. I'm still going to take him to the kindergarten. I'm still going to push him to the school. I'm going to make the people accept him in class. And I'm going to, even if he's just there, I want him to go and listen. She did that. And what happened? The guy grew up to be a computer science engineer. What generally takes a person without disabilities 4 years It took him twice the time, 8 years, but he graduated. You know how he used to type on the computer? Imagine coding using a head pointer, which means it's a stick stuck on your forehead, and you literally press the keys with
From
your
your
head.
forehead.
He did that for 8 years,
Wow.
and he graduated with computer science. Once he understood circuitry, then he got in touch with Jose, and he said, obviously he can't speak. He can't even write.
Yeah.
So using the head pointer, he explained the idea to him that I know there are many like me who can write, read, speak, who can't speak, but who can think of great things. Their brains are stimulated. They just need a tool. But the tools are very expensive. We are Brazil. We don't have
Yeah.
we don't have the
Brazil is
resources
super
to buy.
expensive.
For an example, a device to address a disability such as cerebral palsy would ideally start at around $5,000. And $5,000 is a lot of money.
And in Brazil, you can buy a car or you can buy this
This.
technology.
So
$5,000 here also like 10
It's a
years
super-
ago.
it's
Yeah.
15,000
Yeah.
dirhams,
Yeah, so
16,000.
You can
right?
buy a used car here, so
That's exactly.
Exactly.
But so Gleason, he said that, hey, this is something that I want to make. And then Jose, he started building it after many prototypes. So what does this say? It says that if the right tools are given at the right time to people, the things that they can do can be astounding.
that's actually great.
And we brought it here.
But what is the device?
Actually, this is so. This is something I would mention, but after maybe my question is that how do you think it was impacting to the people of determination, this key to enable, and people who have hard basically to learn and hard to be educated? How do you think it positively impacted them? For example, I see you guys. You brought stuff. Maybe we can show it to them also.
Sure.
How? So
Sure. I
Let's
think
start
what we can do is let's first give you an overview of the devices real quick.
Technology.
Yeah.
And then we can let Karla, because she was one of the people who went first to a different country outside of the UAE, where she saw real human stories, real stories of kids.
Of how they
You know,
were
and then
positively impacted.
when she came back, we had a major breakthrough in UAE, and I think she and Jose, you guys can take it from there. But let's show you what we make, right?
Because I saw this device in every room in startup competition. I was like, what is this?
So
I was like, okay, this is maybe their device. This is their pitch, basically.
this is our pitch.
Yeah.
This is what we live for.
The main device.
This is our flagship.
Explain
product.
it, Karla.
I'll just show to that camera there. Jose makes me hold this like UFC when the woman comes with the scarf. He's like, hold this during our pitch. So basically here, what we have, it's a keyboard and a mouse, just like the ones we use, but all designed for people that initially had motor disabilities, but then we adapted together motor disabilities. So even people with intellectual, neurodiversity, physical disabilities, they can use this. I'll just show to you like that. So how it works, why it looks like that. So first thing is this covers everything of a regular keyboard. So imagine a child that cannot use their hands, how they do Control-Alt-Delete or something like that. Here they can do it. Okay. But the technology behind this, not the technology, the logistic behind this is that if we would do a keyboard just like ours, you have to have very large keys, very spaced. It would be the size of this table. So here, what Jose, Gleason, and the founders from Brazil, they thought is that in order for you to do one letter, you have to combine. So for example, I want to do A. I find A here. I'm going to press this, the blue triangle, and then I press this corresponding key here, which is the same as this. Okay. So this plus yellow moon Yeah.
Wait.
So blue triangle plus, we can see that A is here in the yellow moon. I press this and then you will have A on the screen.
Okay.
Combination.
And it's a combination. So
Alright.
everything here works like that.
All right.
So it's very easy.
And all the functions. So with using these 9 buttons, you can execute the 144 approximately commands of a keyboard with this keyboard as well, just by 9 buttons.
It's called key X.
It's called a key X.
Yeah.
And why key X? Because it's a keyboard with an X factor that nobody else has, right? and it not only is a keyboard, it also transforms into a mouse.
Yeah.
So imagine a child with cerebral palsy who doesn't have, or partial paralysis, who cannot even think ever to do a drag and drop function, right? He can do it with this. So just 3 times you tap on the X,
here.
X button 3 times, and the keyboard goes from the keyboard mode to the mouse mode.
Yeah.
And then there are keys with you can go the cursor up, down, left, right. You can increase or decrease the cursor speed, and you have left click, right click, double click, and hold.
Yeah.
So
I want to add that it's, when we speak like that, it's important to understand that it's not just a keyboard, not just for typing, to go into PowerPoint and Word.
Yeah.
This, if you think with the mindset of what the children and students, we put them to use this, this goes way beyond. They start to learn. They start to engage with other children that does not have a disability because of the way it looks. The other children want to come to play. We saw this very recently here in Abu Dhabi with a child that she uses for the past 2 years, Mariam. She stays in the classroom using this while the other students are with pen and paper.
Yeah.
And she does everything here. And in the end, when they finish, they come to help her. But she doesn't let them help. She wants to do it by herself. She's only 8 years old.
Sometimes I have to do it by myself.
And she's only 8 years old. So they start to learn, they gain autonomy. So how many people we know from Brazil that they had to ask somebody to come and do something for them on the computer.
Yeah.
And after you put this, they can do whatever they want.
Simple things like caps lock and shift.
And we are talking just now, if you think in the future, because they can learn to read and write.
They are reading and writing.
They are increasing work possibilities for them in the future.
100%.
And one interesting thing is that we hear the audience, we hear them. And we heard that the teachers, they wanted to, for example, those who does not know the letters, how they would use this. So in the beginning, you have to stimulate their brain, as Neil was saying. And we created this whole educational platform that can teach them each letter. So by doing this combination, by using the colors, the symbols, so we can understand what they are thinking, we can teach them and then receive the answer, for example, so you can measure the development. So all of this we can do.
Every solution we have, there was always feedback from teachers, from the parents, and we went adapting it until what we came to now, which I think I'll hold it as a surprise because that's very cool to say.
As José mentioned, that people find it surprising that if a child doesn't know how to read and write, what use is a keyboard to him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But then we say, a child might not know that an apple starts with the letter A, but he knows what an apple looks like.
Exactly.
But how do you know he knows what an apple looks like? You put the picture of the apple on the screen and you assign the buttons to the answers, and he chooses the right answer. Because you tell him, this is an apple, which is the apple on the screen, which is activities promoting association.
Yeah.
That's the start. That's the beginning. They start to associate with objects, things, and then you tell them, you introduce the language, and then you introduce the letters, alphabets, etc., etc. That's the learning curve, literacy and numeracy, which is going around right now as one of the biggest challenges. And even it's not just us; it's the UNICEF that's saying this. Shockingly low levels of literacy in kids the age of 10. So they say it's astounding. They say that kids the age of 10, on an average, 70% of them cannot comprehend a simple written story.
Wow.
And this
Imagine
is kids
kids with
without
disabilities.
Imagine
disabilities.
kids
Yeah.
with disabilities. Children of
Yeah,
determination.
We are
yeah,
trying to
it's
change
crazy.
that.
Yeah, just that.
Just that.
Just
Yeah, and
Just
it's
that.
like sometimes we hear also it's a very niche market, and Jose always says this, which is like they are the biggest minority
Yep.
Yeah.
out there. There are 240 million children with motor disabilities in the world.
Yeah.
So they are everywhere. It's not something we are
Think about
one
this.
here, other there. you know?
What is the niche?
15%.
Yeah.
15% of the world's population have
Yeah.
some form of disability or the other. 15% of 7 billion people. That's a
Wow.
lot of people,
Mhm.
right? Colibri, Jose, go on. What's Colibri? This is our latest invention.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So here we have, for those, for example, who
Yeah.
cannot move neck down,
Yeah.
maybe they can speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the guys in Brazil, they do not stop. So they created the possibility of using a head mouse.
Yeah.
It's super easy. I'm going to show
So
this here in the phone.
it's a gyroscopic device.
So it can point when you're
Bluetooth. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
Bluetooth.
it's just
Yeah.
Bluetooth.
You
You
switch
don't
it
need
on,
to point
connect
it.
with your phone or
Oh,
anything that
alright.
has Bluetooth.
So if you
and
can see here, just by moving my head,
Oh.
you can see
he's navigating the cursor.
Yeah, I can see the screen, so that's why.
and what I'm doing right now is
Just
taking a
opening the
picture. You
camera.
said that we could not take a picture. We're taking- That's
Okay,
it.
at least include
Just by
Neil.
pointing it.
Neil is not there.
Yeah,
I'm
Leo is
not
not there.
I Photoshop you here.
Oh, I forgot you, Karla. Let me do it again. So that's
Yeah.
it. We make it easier for them. For example, like even if they want to watch Netflix, it does not mean that I have to connect it to a phone. I can connect
Yeah.
it to a
And
TV.
no
for
one
example.
needs, even if they're alone or something, so they can
Yeah.
do it by themselves.
Exactly.
There's
It
no need.
increases autonomy
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it, takes
There-
autonomy to a next
Yeah.
level.
I really like to tell a story about this. So when we started Colibri, there was a lady in Brazil. She's called Elaine,
Yeah.
and she was just like us.
All right.
Okay, so she was she was doing medical university,
Yeah.
and by the second year, she suffered a stroke,
Oh wow.
and she was alone. So that time that she was alone increased, like the paralysis. She
Yeah, yeah.
started to have the stroke, and then we gave her Colibri, and of course it took time. It took
Yeah.
her own willing because she's very brave and she wants to come back and start the come back to the course, and she did, and she graduated.
Yeah.
And she was featured on the BBC as the first doctor in Brazil that uses her eyes to do her job,
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah.
she's doing with this. So it goes also with like
Eyes and head, actually, because
Eyes
this
and
is
head,
this
yeah.
is not an eye scanner, iris scanning device. It's a very simple gyroscopic head movement
Yeah.
navigation device, as simple as it gets. So
Wow.
a
And it
lot
has to
of
be
people,
Yeah.
exactly. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're deep tech and you're high tech and you're wazoo tech." I don't know, whatever they call it, But I tell them, this is just integrated circuits, and this is just a board.
It's the idea.
Yeah,
It is very simple. The tech is very simple. What's innovative is the methodology of operations. Nobody thought about combining colors and symbols to create something new. And nobody
Yeah,
thought
exactly.
about
I was gonna say that,
not
to
an
be
eye
honest.
scanning device. Everybody's making eye scanning device. Nobody's making a Bluetooth device that is
You can see
portable,
like Ray-Ban,
cost-effective.
they're doing a camera by the Bluetooth, by
Yeah.
the sunglass, and I can see that. It's like a POV, but this is for me. Like if I like to do like an
that's
action
it.
shot.
And it doesn't have to cost that much.
Yeah, but for them it will cost that.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
They will give
course.
me
Yeah.
tons of. I don't know how many dollars I have to save.
Of course. Of
And
course.
in our case, remember, we are from Brazil, so
Yeah.
we have to do technology that
Is
they can
affordable.
access.
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
affordable
And then
for
here, like
Africa.
they're because here in the culture, for people of determination, they're like they have school for themselves. They have this stuff. I wasn't like the first person who I met who had the people like part of the people of determination. It was in the first year of university. I never met anyone
That's it.
So I was like, I never met someone. How do I deal with them? So I've compassion. This is how I felt about them, because they're different. They're not like us. They wish to be like us, but they're different. They're thinking different ways. Like if you see them in the class, they're not. They listen, and if you ask them any question, they will answer and they answer correctly. But they listen. They're focusing on something, but they just like to do something else outside, like focusing at the moment and stuff like that. So I met like people in the university and stuff like that, and that's extraordinary to see. People.
It is. The most talented people are on the autism spectrum.
Yeah,
exactly. People neurodiverse people are they're different, as we say, neurodiversity, which means that your brain functions in a different way. That's it. That's not it's not a disease. It's not
like God created.
Exactly. It's just the way you're born.
So God has like created us for a unique perspective. And it's this unique. Is like basically this group, he created them for a specific reason. For a specific reason and a specific purpose. They created us like that also. We're normal, but we're just created us in different ways. There's some unique features on each one of us.
Yes.
So this is how this house should be done. But it's also from ourselves. So it should be always how to help them. How to be part of our community. It's not like
no division, right?
No divisions. Do not like cast them aside as like, you know what, they're not part. Like sometimes like when I see people working, I'm like, you know what, maybe step by step. It's like I don't explain to them like someone is a normal. It's like, no, you do this first, second, third, fourth. This is how like I build it like a step 1, step 2, step 3.
Makes sense.
As you always say, there is no us and them. Actually, this is what
there is no us and them.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how things should be.
Yeah, exactly.
There shouldn't be how do you say this? Division or distinguishing between people.
Exactly.
You know?
But I think people are
here
understanding.
It's changing.
So this is awesome for us, awesome for them.
They're changing, but this is also part of this.
Of course.
But also it's basically part of the environment, because environment, it affects us how we treat them.
Yeah.
So
100%.
if the environment is good, if there's someone
inclusivity, definitely.
So this is how it should be. So this is also it's also part of the not a problem, part of how we make them part of us. Part of
exactly.
The So just because we have actually, congratulations, we are almost done. So I have one question. So people are saying if you go to the past, what things do you think you can change? But I'm just gonna reverse it. In the future.
Perfect.
In the future. I'm not looking at the past. I'm not looking.
What am I gonna change in the future?
So where do you think key to enable be part in the future?
Okay, what are we going to do in the future? Where are we going to be in the future?
Where are you going to be in the future? I'm not going to say where are you going to be in the 5 years, because I'm not going to give you some limited time. I'm going to give you the whole time, because 5 years, I'm going to give you limited time and you have to achieve. So if I come after 5 years, you need to be there.
I think where we see ourselves 5, 10, I don't know how long it's going to take.
Like I said, in the future.
It's a difficult task.
It's in the infinite future.
It is. But we also need to understand that when it comes to people with disabilities or people of determination, the major challenge that we face is awareness and advocacy. Though it's spreading, but it's still in pockets. So you'll see a lot of it happening in Europe, in the UK. Yes, they're far advanced. In Asia, Middle East, still there's a lot of work to be done. I want to see myself and Key to Enable and Jose and Karla, everybody, we all wish for us to be seen as one of the pillars of advocacy and enablement in reforming policies of different countries in the region and internationally to foster and begin the movement of inclusive education universally.
That's
If
great.
I had,
That's cool.
yeah, because my dad used to say, son, if you're dreaming, dream big. If you aim for the stars, you'll land on the moon. Don't aim for the moon, because then you'll be on Earth. So
good.
Good one.
so if I aim for this, maybe I'll be able to cause a difference. We will be able to cause a difference, that a country listens to us and changes a certain policy and says, hey, you know what? Get rid of the special schools, make it all inclusive. And a rule goes out to the schools that, hey, you have to get these kids in your classrooms.
Yeah.
And you have to get assistive tech. Yeah. You have to have these resources available in your classroom. They all should learn together.
That's great. Anything to add, Jose, Karla?
Yeah, adding to what you has just said.
Because I feel like this conversation was between me and Neil, guys. You need to participate.
No, it's... How you say this in English? He's our porta-voz. He's our
speaker.
Spoker, you know.
Speaker.
Spoker.
Yeah. The office moment.
The office moment. Yeah. You know, a new episode is coming. Yeah. So the new episode has just came. I went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And of course, they were not there, but they did all the background of this trip.
Yeah.
And one of the ideas is to include all of this assistive technology and the educational, solution inside all TVs. So imagine, for example, we just came from a big brand there where we showed what we can do. They said that they have already sold 140 million TVs. Yeah. And our idea is to make those TVs inclusive. Yeah. The ones that they already sold and the ones that they will sell.
Yeah.
And we have 240 million children, more than 5 million schools out there waiting for a solution. So imagine if in every place we have this inclusive possibility.
Mm-hmm. And it starts from your living room.
Exactly.
So your living room becomes inclusive. So that's amazing, right?
Then you can change everything from
charity begins
home.
At home. So
exactly.
So you're starting from home and then obviously.
So that's why I'm saying the environment itself, it should be from in home as well, not
100%.
from schools as well.
100%.
So,
and TVs are there since we
those kids are watching lots of TV and even YouTube. So there's lots of digital.
And now smart TV is like, you don't need now, okay, cell phones, sure, because of portability, you can take it anywhere. But
TV
if you're at home, you're watching YouTube on the TV. You're watching Netflix on the TV.
And why not learning together with your family? Yeah. And for those who cannot use the remote control, for example, let them use the TV.
For them, the Colibri, they use the Colibri because this works with the TV. So you put the Colibri here and then you navigate the TV just with your head.
Yeah, exactly.
And Karla, what would you add?
Yeah, so for the future, I'll add what Jose said. So there is this girl here, Mariam, that she's 8. And we tried to use with her ChatGPT. Because she cannot stop her head. She wants to learn about the world. She wants to learn about everything. When I was there with her, she started in the beginning why rabbits run so fast, why crocodiles are...
And she's nonverbal. She lacks fine motor skills, which means she cannot type on a keyboard. But she can type with the key X.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she started like that and...
Yeah. And then eventually, because in ChatGPT, you have to put the whole prompt, and I added some stuff also, like, please give me an answer very simplified for a child of 8 years old. So we were thinking after
he gives
that.
Sometimes the ChatGPT and AI.
I
was like, man,
have their own limitations.
I was like, sometimes I tell him, shorten it, please.
Yes.
Shorten it.
Short, please. Always. Always.
Or bullet points.
Bullet points.
Yeah. Bullet points. That's perfect for me sometimes.
Yeah. So after that, we end up thinking, because she's at home in her vacations, what like she relies on her caregiver to come and do that in ChatGPT with her. And we were like, okay, so what if these children, they had a tool that they can do it completely generated by AI, with activities for them made with their interests
by syllabi. So it means that what Kiki is saying is not only its activities, not random. It's based on their skills, competencies, interests, and according to the syllabi, the syllabus, the curriculum they're supposed to learn. But they don't need to rely
on their caregivers. Sometimes these people, they are not the best. Like they cannot judge what this child they want to learn, what
they're
level
not
they are.
The caregiver is a caregiver.
Teachers don't
She's not a
have time.
teacher.
Teachers are super busy.
Exactly.
So we already started that. So I said in the future, but the future is now.
We
already started that.
We are developing a platform, which is an educational platform, which is powered by generative AI.
All right, that's cool.
And using the generative AI, it will, just by click of 3 buttons on the key X, the child of determination with disabilities can generate content on any subject, in any curriculum, in any language, in less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
Doesn't need to speak to his mother, caregiver, teacher, nobody. He generates his own content based on, okay, today I want to learn division function in math. Okay, these are the activities based on his level, his grade, his age, his competency. And it will generate all the activities or tasks in skill level base. So that he can learn division. By the end of the module, he will know what is division function in arithmetic.
Wow. So that's actually great to hear about the progress you're doing also with AI. Because for me now, AI is the most important tool in our life. So really, thank you so much, guys, for today. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Karla. And let's hope for the future that everything goes smooth as you want and you reach your goals as well. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Ragid.
No.
Ragid.
Ragid. So
now everybody knows your name.
That's it. It's fine.
It's great.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Let's do this again in 1 year.
Sure, of course. Let's see. Every 1 year, I'll
Every
do
1 year, let's have
a special episode for you guys.
Nice.
Back again. You know, like
Bogi does that.
Key to Enable, part 2.
Part 2. Yeah. Amazing.
Nice. Thank
Thank you
you
so much.
Thank
it's
you.
amazing.